I have a guest here, and I want to talk to him for a few minutes because I met him at the Walk Away. Is it Walk Away? Walk Away movement, and it was an honor to meet him. I'm always in support of young people, all people really, but when I see young men and women standing up for what's right, willing to fight for it, and whatever I can do to help, I definitely will. I met my guest, Major Williams, as I said, at the Walk Away rally the other couple weeks now. And he is running for mayor of Pasadena, California. He was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, and moved to L.A. when he was about 11 years old. And he loved the country. He loved what's right. He see what's happening. He's a young man who's willing to stand. And he black. He black. And he's willing to stand up for it. Major William, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is great.
Yes, sir. When I met you at the Walk Away movement and talked to you for a while and found out that you were running for mayor of Pasadena, I'm like, right on. What made you decide to run for mayor? How old are you, by the way?
I just turned 42.
You're 42?
Yes, sir.
Black don't crack.
Yeah, so I just turned 42 May 6th, and just answering your question on why I'm running. I've been living in Pasadena for 8 years when me and my wife moved out here with our family. And if you are politically inclined or just you're activated about community and whatnot, which I am, and even more so over the last 3 years, you get a gauge of you get a feel of what's going on in the climate of your city. Right. And I've seen a lot of decline. So I've had a lot of plights myself, but also just going around the community, especially over the last year, I've been able to hear so many other people's plights as well. And so it's kind of like the analogy of you being in the stands and you watching everyone else around you yell at the refs and yell at the players on what they should do. And I felt like for a while I was one of those people, and I didn't want to be that type of person anymore. And so I decided to jump on the field and suit up myself and change the game from a player's perspective.
Well, I have much respect for that, and I definitely wish you well in what you're doing. On your Facebook page, you said that you intend to walk to every community and knock on every door. Is that possible?
Oh, it's possible. Look at me. I'm 42. I'm a vegan. I'm in great shape. And I have a lot of push from a lot of young people that I work with over at Pasadena Community College. And it's just about having a data as well, too. So we know specifically where our voters are. And I think, with everything that we're doing, it's a hard challenge trying to break the mold of being a young Black African-American. I'm a threat to a lot of people when it comes to this, because a lot of people, especially the older guard, are looking at me like the audacity of you, like what makes you actually qualified. And I just think that we're in 2019, we're at a different place, and the city leadership should actually reflect where we are as a country, as a state, and also as a city, as in Pasadena. And so I'm breaking the mold from many different perspectives. And just by having so many other people on board that's pushing me, and people like yourself supporting me, that's going to give me the energy to go and walk and knock on every single door.
Yeah. You are a conservative, right?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And being Black and being a conservative, how are you treated?
You know what? It's been up and down. Recently I was talking to someone yesterday. I was reflecting on a voicemail that I got from someone locally. It was a Black man. He was older. And he left a very disparaging voicemail on my phone. And I played it. You remember I played it at the Walkaway.
Yes.
And so, I've been getting small little things like that. But what's happening is that, since I've been going at this since March 2018, a lot of people are trying to play catch up if they want to try to knock me off my pedestal, because I've built rapport and relationship with the community, and that's not going to stop. So people can feel some kind of way about me being a Black conservative Republican, but once they actually see me out in the community and face to face with me, the vibe is totally different.
Yeah,
no different than our first community walk. We specifically walked in a Democrat neighborhood just for the fact to test that theory, because I'm running off of ideals. This is a no partisan race. I'm running off of ideals that's going to be effective and work for the actual city and the people in the city. And so once I'm able to bridge that gap of common sense versus their emotion, I'm able to get a percentage of those people, and that's kind of what we're relying on with this campaign.
I think that, it's good that you're out there like that. It's good that you are black and a conservative Republican, because over the years, black Americans have not seen enough black conservatives who are Republicans in their neighborhoods. And so as a result, the Democratic Party and the media and blacks who are using blacks have been able to use them because they don't really see other examples. So I'm happy that you're out there like that, and they know that you are a conservative.
No, absolutely. I think it's very important because, like you say, they have been able to paint a certain narrative about us because we haven't been out there, boots on the ground, so to speak, and just be able to have that conversation and bridge that gap. It helps change the narrative a little bit because honestly, and I tell them, I say, I was a lifelong Democrat. My grandmother was a Democrat. My mom was a Democrat. Not until I got, politically inclined around people that actually told me about these policies that, were detrimental to our communities, where I was able to have my awakening and walk away moment, so to speak.
Yes.
And so once you explain it to them from a metaphorical standpoint and not trying to speak over them or speak at them, but just have a conversation with them and say, hey, man, I agree with what the policies that the president has done. Like, this is what it's done. This directly affected me and my family. I have real stories that go along with these policies that they've helped us. And once you explain it from that perspective, like at some capacity, they have to kind of relate to you on why you're doing what you're doing.
What's the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party?
The Democrat Party plays on a lot of identity politics, and I didn't really understand that until it was kind of like laid out to me. I speak a lot, oftentimes, as much as I can, with a good friend of mine by the name of Candace Owens. I'm sure you know of her, and especially just hearing the stories from Brandon Strauss and the people from his documentary. I've had those same kind of conversations to understand what the difference is. The Republican Party, from what I'm experiencing personally, is that we're really about the ideals and the common sense narrative of getting things done and just being fair, whether it be from a capitalist standpoint, from helping people, but also not being afraid to say that we want to create businesses so we can create wealth for ourselves to take care of our families for generations. Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things. Democrats is free. And my mom was on welfare for 20 years, and that gave me a certain psychological mindset that I had to shake. I had to relearn a lot of different things on what it meant to be a hard worker and a go-getter. Like that affected me, and I was able to identify that, thank God. But that's the huge difference in between the both parties.
When you say identity politics, a lot of black people don't know what that means. Can you explain to them what you mean when you say identity? What is identity politics?
So there's different levels. My personal opinion of what identity politics is how I voted when it came to Barack Obama. Like, I didn't understand his politics. I didn't understand the policies that he was doing, even on his second term. So I voted for him because he was black. So it's basically pandering to someone based upon the image that they're portraying to you. And then that's why you make your decisions, your emotional decisions. So they use those identity politics from a relatable standpoint, so to speak. And it gets you to produce a certain action. In my experience, it was to vote for a black person, and that was.
Did you vote for him both times, or just the first one time?
I voted for him both times.
You did?
Yes.
What made you vote for him the second time after you learned the first time that he wasn't the right person in the White House? Why second time?
So my thing is, I've only been a Republican for 2.5, 3 years now, Jesse.
Oh.
I still wasn't politically activated or inclined then. So I own a marketing company. My marketing company started working with political candidates and political campaigns. Not until I got under that umbrella and got behind the scenes and working with Republican candidates. And some of them were friends of mine for like 12 years. And I didn't even know their political affiliation because we never spoke about politics. But once I was able to identify, like, these are the white racist men that we're talking about, these are my good friends. These people have helped propel me, my life. We have great conversations, real candid, real life conversations. I don't agree with that assessment that people are making about that particular party. In every particular section, group, or whatever, you're going to have bad apples, and certain people that may be attached to certain things based upon the past or even the present. But I didn't think that was the majority of what that party represented.
So you were working with a white guy that was a Republican. You learned later that he was a Republican, right?
Yes.
And at the time, you were a Democrat?
Yes, I was. I was a registered Democrat, but understand, like I said, that was by default. It wasn't politically educated. It was a natural thing. I wasn't really engulfed in it at all.
So what was your first impression when you learned that this white guy is a Republican?
I was like, oh, you're supposed to be the white racist guy, that just wants to, hold all the black people back. And we had like a amazing laugh about it. But that just showed me that I was just like everyone else today. I was emotional. I was going off of headlines. I wasn't digging deeper, and I wasn't like really looking through my own lens. I was allowing people to perpetuate their image and play on my emotions to give me the reaction towards a certain group or party. Would you say? That's
such a powerful point, and that's what I've been trying to get people to do for the last 29 years: to start thinking for themselves, know that they know. Don't just believe it because someone said it. You need to know it, see it for yourself. So I got to ask you these questions. Number one, are you for the wall going up?
I am. I am for the wall going up, and for the reason that I feel like it's for protection. In regards to even immigration has the most impact has been on the black community. And so I would be doing our culture a disservice if I wasn't for the wall. And I'm working effectively on, communicating that with other people when I'm having these candid conversations when it comes to that, because their hate for the president is blindly and emotionally making them not see the benefit of more border protection that actually helps our community.
Yeah. How do you see the great white hope, President Trump, and do you support him?
Yes, I do support him for a lot of great decisions he's made when it comes to policy. I was able to go to the White House recently. I was one of the people that was lobbying for the First Step Act, the reform bill. And so I was very excited that actually happened. Had opportunity to meet him, had opportunity to meet Vice President Mike Pence as well. I think he's doing the best job he possibly can, and I think he is doing a job that a lot of people didn't even think that he would be able to do in regards to the success he's had. And also, you have to just commend this guy for the mental fortitude that he has showed during all these aggressive attacks through social media, big tech companies, all these influencers and actors in Hollywood that's been coming up against him. And so for me, that shows a lot of strong character, and that's someone that I will willingly support. And I've taken my hits and backlash when it comes to that, but I always share my stories on why I support President Donald Trump. It's some of the policies that he's put in place that has directly affected me. That actually makes sense not only just for me, for a lot of communities and the country, just like the Opportunity Zone for revitalizing a lot of the urban community.
Did you know that I call him the Great White Hope?
No, I didn't know you called me like Hope until right now.
The Great White Hope. I got to ask, we run out of time, but Alabama, Sweet Home, Alabama. I grew up in Alabama. I love Alabama. They voted to protect the unborn children rather than to allow them to be killed inside the woman's womb. What do you think about the abortion bill that Alabama just signed?
So I didn't dig too deep in it. I'm kind of on the surface on it, but I've been kind of like transparent when it comes to abortion. Abortion is just a mask word, a made-up word that covers up murder. So when it comes to murder, I don't justify that. I don't believe it's one body. I believe it's two bodies. And so the fact that the baby's body doesn't have an opportunity to have any say in it, or even the father, they're allowing them to have just total control of that narrative and situation. I don't think it's a fair situation. And I just think it's a tough situation because now what they're trying to do, they're trying to paint this narrative of rape and incest. But when you look at the statistics, that's not the huge majority of what's going on when it comes to abortions. It's coming from psychologically thinking that you're not prepared financially, or it's coming from the burden of you not psychologically feeling like that you're ready. But those are not strong reasons for murder at the end of the day. You can't mask it.
Amazing. We're running out of time. What would you like the people to know? How can we help? What's your website? What's going on?
So, of course, everyone knows that I'm running for mayor of Pasadena. If you don't know, you do know now, because I am on the world famous Jesse Lee Peterson show. The website is updated currently. It's majorformayor.com. How you can support me is just by following me on all the social media, which is Major for Mayor. Feel free to donate. Just because you can't vote for me doesn't mean that you can't support me. So you can repost content. You can donate $5, $1, but you can tell 5 other people to do the exact same thing. Just understand, especially from the Republican aspect of it, we have to work really hard collectively together to win these seats. We took a huge loss last time, but moving forward, we have to take a page out of some of the Democrats' playbook and say, hey, we truly have to stand together and support each other. And in order for me to win this race, it's going to be a monetary race, because right now it's only 2 candidates. So imagine the opportunity that we have here in the city that's starting to galvanize around a new candidate, first-time candidate. But in order to keep the momentum up, I'm going to need, to raise funds, and I'm going to need everyone to do that. And live on air, I'm going to ask Jesse Lee Peterson to donate at least $100 before this week is out.
Amazing. I am going to support you, man. I really am. We need more conservatives, especially in California politics, because California being ruled by Democrats, and they are taking this state down. They're doing everything they can to destroy it for personal gain rather than building it up. So we need conservative men and women to be running and winning in California.
No, I agree 100%. If you look at some of the policies, even with the governor, with some of the things he's doing with the different excessive taxes, look at the gas prices that we're faced with every single day. There's so much more that we have to do in order to win these seats back. Yeah. But our biggest thing is if we're able to message these things properly and just share what's actually going on through real statistics and data, and change the narrative of conversation about it being so emotional about stuff and the free narrative, I think we're going to be able to really turn the tide. Absolutely.
Who are you running against? Who is the mayor of Pasadena now?
The current mayor is this 74-year-old man by the name of Terry Tornick. He is a career developer. A lot of people are frustrated because now they're saying this overdevelopment. My thing is, hey, you voted for a developer. This time around 2015, there were 8 candidates in the race when he first ran. Fast forward now, there's only 2 candidates. I was the first one in the race. I announced that I was going to run back in March 2018 because I knew I was going to have to build name ID and really put in the work.
Is he a Democrat?
Say it again. Yes, he is a Democrat.
And will you be debating him?
Yes, the first debate hopefully is going to be in October at Pasadena Community College. I'm working with Young Americans for Freedom, a Republican group on the college, and they are going to start doing outreach to get him to do the first debate in October. So we're preparing for that.
Be sure to let us know. We'll announce it here on the show and get some folks out there to watch it, be a part of it.
That'd be great. I truly appreciate it.
Major, folks, Major Williams. He's running for mayor of Pasadena, California. Amazing. And your website, once again?
Major for mayor. So there's no number 4. It's just FOR, MAJOR, FORMAYOR.com.
Amazing. Well, I wish you well, and you definitely have my support.
Thank you.
Whatever we can do to make this happen, we got to get behind one another and make this stuff happen. That's
Absolutely.
the only way it's going to change.
Absolutely. And I want to be a part of the panel that you got coming up too, man. I participate, come show up, volunteer, whatever I got to do. I want to come support and be a part of that.
Oh, at our 10th annual men's conference.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll talk to Hermes, the organizer of it. We'll definitely let you know, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You're doing a great job, man. I appreciate you so much. You've opened my eyes a lot over the last year, so I appreciate everything that you've been doing. I know you've been doing it for 29 years, but I caught wind of you like a year and a half ago, and I've just been intrigued by your message and your platform.
Right on. Thank you for that, Major. I appreciate that. God bless you, man, and we'll be talking soon, and you'll hear from us about the conference, all right?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye now.
All right. God bless.
And God bless you. Amazing Major Williams, folks, out of Pasadena, California. And by the way, I love Pasadena. It's a beautiful area. They have like these big old-fashioned, old-time homes there. Nice houses. I have friends who live out there. And Jay went to